Welcome to this presentation about postgraduate study in language and communication studies. My name is Roger Baines and I'm a senior lecturer in applied translation and French language, and I'm also the admissions director for the School of Politics, Philosophy, Language and Communication Studies. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover a particular course that we teach, talk a bit about the modules and how we deliver this course, and a little bit about the careers that it leads to. Okay, first a few general points about the work we do in language and communication studies. Our courses are focused on real-world contexts, communication as it is today, how it's used professionally, and communication in multilingual contexts. What makes us tick as a community of researchers, lecturers and students is that practical application of theory to communication. And speaking of research, the emphasis on real-world communication is evident also in the research we do, research which was ranked 5th in the country for quality in area studies in the latest Research Excellence Framework. Now, I mentioned multilingual contexts, and it's helpful to know that we're a group of staff who come from a wide range of cultural backgrounds and speak a wide range of languages. Not only does this inform the research and teaching we do, it also makes us well set up to work successfully with students from all over the world. And the community of students we work with is also multilingual. We have students from a wide range of linguistic and cultural backgrounds, very varied perspectives, and this means that the kind of intercultural questions that we're discussing are very much present in the classroom, as well as in the work that we're looking at. So it's great for students, but it's also great for us. We're not a large department. We usually take in around 20 MA students a year across the department. This means that we're a close and supportive community. We know who the students are, even if we don't teach them, and everyone is very friendly. Okay, so this is the MA I'm going to talk about, the MA in Global Intercultural Communication, which has the wonderful acronym of MAGIC. So again, a bit of context. Globalization has largely removed time and space barriers. Different linguistic communities have ever-increasing contact through migration, tourism, education, information and media flows, but those linguistic and cultural barriers are still there. 75% of the global population do not speak any English, and most of the 1 in 4 who do speak it as a second language. So intercultural communication is a major skill in which the world really needs experts to help smooth business, education, health, politics, you name it. How do we successfully communicate with people when we come from different cultures or do not share the same language? How can global companies manage their diverse workforce? Those are the kinds of issues you'll learn to address on this MA. And it's particularly aimed at graduates with a first degree in language or linguistics or area studies, or graduates with a vocational degree in business, development studies, education, hospitality and tourism, law, management, marketing, psychology, something like that, where the addition of intercultural communication adds a specialist layer which makes for excellent employment prospects in a very wide range of international contexts. As language and intercultural exchanges become more frequent and diverse, and the media that carry these exchanges proliferate, it's even more crucial to understand intercultural communication, how to use and promote it. And this course will equip you to do just that. You'll look at how linguistic forms and patterns within a language give expression to that culture's worldview, socio-cultural norms and values, and you'll approach linguistic communication as a cultural practice used to both create and sustain our sense of personal, cultural and national identity. And you'll use a variety of different analytical approaches. from discourse analysis to anthropological linguistics to semiotics and cross-cultural pragmatics. And it's important for you to know that we don't assume any pre-existing knowledge in those areas. So you'll be introduced to all these approaches. But you'll also look at digital technologies, which increasingly mediate international human communication and constitute one of the key infrastructures that enable and inflect global cultural interchange. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we deliver this? You'll be taking 3 modules per semester, plus some research training. I'll say a bit more about that in a moment. But on the whole, you'll have between around 6 weekly contact hours, and half that if you take the degree part-time. And this will be delivered mostly by seminars. We have some workshops as well, and some one-to-one tutorial work. We also have visiting speakers coming in, so often former students or people from a range of different specialist areas coming to talk about how intercultural communication works in their discipline. And we have a lot of support for international students. So I said we were very multilingual, so we're very experienced in supporting international students, and there's lots of lots of material and lots of expertise there to help students who come from other cultures to adapt to education in higher education in a British context. Okay, so if you were just to search for English language support on the UEA website, you get a good sense of what's available. And one indication of that, perhaps, is that one of the very first things that we asked you to do in the first couple of weeks is write a very short piece of academic writing, which we use to assess who might need a little bit of extra support. So this enables us to identify where there is adaptation needed, where there is extra work needed, and we'll make sure that support is in place for you. Okay, and in terms of, yes, we also, everybody will have a personal tutor and advisor, so somebody who maybe teach them or may not, but who is the person that they can go to get support. In particular for academic matters, this might be to do with choice of modules, it might be to do with working out how to respond to feedback on assessments or thinking about dissertations. But it might also be the first port of call for any issues that are affecting your academic work, and they will know where to point you to help you get the support that you need. Okay, and in terms of assessment, a lot of the work that you will do will be presented and shared with us in a way where you'll get feedback, but you won't be given marks as such. So it's what we call formative assessment. This might be presentations, and if you like that piece of work that I was just describing, that very first piece of work you'll do, that first task, that's a very good example of a formative presentation. It's giving you feedback and support to help you improve. And then you'll have summative coursework, which might be in a range of different, very often at this level in this kind of discipline, it would be an essay, something like a 4,000 word essay on a topic that's been discussed with your module leader. But it could be in the form of journals, it could be in the form of presentations as well. So there's quite a range of different ways that we do that. And then one of the pieces of work that you will do is dissertation, and usually that will be again an extended piece of writing on a topic of your choice. And we do quite an interesting thing here which we call a viva, and a viva is very often used as a way to assess a piece of work, but we use it again sort of formatively. So at the beginning of the dissertation process, you will meet with two academics who are not your supervisor, and they will give you critical feedback on a piece of writing that you've done, which gives a kind of abstract of the work that you're going to do, sets out the provisional structure of what you're going to do, and it's a really useful opportunity at the beginning of your dissertation work to get extra feedback, extra support, and on the whole is a very beneficial part of the process. Okay. We'll talk a little bit about some of the modules. So, as I said, you'll be doing 3 modules per semester, and these will be the compulsory ones. So, and then there are a range of options. So those modules, so 6 modules, 3 in each semester, plus the dissertation in the summer, plus a year-long academic and research skills module. Okay. So let's talk about these briefly. So power of discourse, representation, interaction. You'll think about the ways in which language in use, discourse, shapes and is shaped by sociocultural practices, values and perspectives, reflecting different conventions of communication and different purposes of communication. And you'll think about how particular uses of language have the power to shape the way we relate to each other and construct our social roles. So that's the power of discourse. Language and cultural thought, where you'll look at language and linguistic issues from different perspectives in relation to culture and mind, and you'll develop an understanding of aspects of cross-cultural variation in verbal and non-verbal communication, acculturation, culture shock, multilingualism, and second language acquisition, and differences in the way meaning is encoded. And understanding digital media, which is the 3rd compulsory module. You'll look at the ways in which the internet and other digital technologies are affecting society from both theoretical and empirical perspectives. You'll think about the theoretical debates surrounding digital media and how everyday interpersonal relations are affected by digital media. Talked about the dissertation a little bit already. You'll, as I say, do this once you finish the talk part of the MA. So this will be a dissertation on a topic relating to an aspect of the analysis of language, discourse, text, or other media in relation to society and culture in the context of global intercultural communication. Around 8,000 words, that's the word count. You'll be given a supervisor at the beginning of the period of supervision who will give you general advice and support about your approach, structure, content, and will work with you a series of supervisions with the work being submitted towards the end of August. Okay, and I've already talked about the vivas that we have during the dissertation. And then academic research skills. This is a series right through the year, giving you support in the kinds of skills that you'll need. So it might be how to avoid plagiarism, it might be how to use databases, bibliographies, quantitative and qualitative methods, how to present the findings that you come up with, editing, proofreading. And then the spring semester, a strong focus on dissertation preparation, so choosing a topic, thinking about methodology, thinking about literature review, coming up with research questions, ethical issues, and so on. Okay, so that's the compulsory element. You will have a choice of 3 other modules, and current options include conflict and conflict resolution and intercultural communication, forensic linguistics and translation, intercultural communication in practice, intercultural education and training, and language issues in a globally multilingual context, and politics and media. So quite a range there of more specialised areas to continue your exploration of intercultural communication. Okay. Career-wise, we like to try and link students up with local companies to give those companies the benefit of our students' intercultural communication knowledge, and that this can lead to intercultural communication consultancy work. But in terms of career, as I say, a lot of the context that we'll be describing and exploring on the course has this practical professional edge to it, that kind of focus. But the kinds of careers students on this degree will go into, and you have a list there, quite varied, but they're all areas where the professions are interlinked linguistically and culturally with a whole range of cultures. So you've got translation and localization, that's fairly obvious, all kinds of communication jobs, training, mediation, publishing, diplomatic services, I think that should say human resources and quality control rather than human quality control. And again, management, information services, and so on. Okay, so again, it's as I said earlier, bringing that extra layer of expertise to already existing knowledge that you have, which enables you to help professional organisations interact better across those linguistic and cultural boundaries. Okay, and it's useful to know that the career service that we have, which has a whole range of internship opportunities and training material and advice, is open to you for up to 3 years after you graduate. Okay, just a couple of final slides. Reasons for choosing us. So the teaching that we deliver is first class. You will be taught by people who are experts in their fields. We have a range of formal learning opportunities, but also within the community of the school and the wider university, there are lots and lots of things going on. You could spend your every single day going to a talk, a lecture, a workshop, available in other parts of the university or from visiting speakers, which to enrich even further your learning. And yes, we have long established links with lots of international organisations and research communities, research councils. Okay, so that's that context. Lively questioning environment where world-renowned research flourishes and flows into your studies. We're excited about the things that you bring to us, and in particular that the students we work with then go out to lots of different places across the world to take their knowledge and education to change things in a wide variety of context. And there's a final slide giving you places you can get more information, or talk to students, talk to academics, and so on. And if you have any further questions, email admissions@uea.ac.uk. Okay, thank you for listening.